What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another highly combustible reaction. We're jumping into something. The next one on our dumb Americans journey. What's the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you? I want to know personally, so let me know down inside the comment section. First and foremost, part one, a hot TikTok 2021 compilation. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you get over that show TikTok news, some love. We're already subbed up. We've already smashed the like button. Let's see what the dumbest things an American has ever said to some of these people are. Let's go.
The dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
I'm American, but I gotta take this L. So freshman year of college, my friends and I go up to Canada to have a fun weekend, whatever. We're partying, having fun. We don't sleep at all, right? We get to the border. I'm in the backseat, knocked, slumped out. Border Patrol knocks on the window. He's asking everyone questions. He comes to me, looks at my passport. Sir, what's your nationality? I go, Louis Barbosa. He goes, no, sir, what's your nationality? I go, Haitian, Dominican, or Puerto Rican. Choose whichever one. Everyone in the car staring at me like, bro, what are you saying right now? You're about to get us arrested. I'm like, what am I saying wrong, right? Everyone's looking at me. So the Border Patrol tries to dumb it down for me. He goes, sir, where are you from? I go, New York City. He goes, okay, so what's your nationality? So now everyone's staring at me and I'm getting tight. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? He's looking at me. I'm looking at him. He's looking at me. He goes, yeah, you're American. Go right through. Yo, son, thank God we wasn't coming back from Mexico.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
I'd like to buy this 6-pack of beer, please. Cool, I'll just need to see your ID. Here you go. I can't take that. You can't take my passport?
Yep,
it's
that
not
happened.
A valid form of ID. You gotta have American ID to buy alcohol in America. It's an American passport. It says my birthplace is Tennessee. You gotta get an American passport to come to America. Everybody knows that. You know that because you have one. That's not true at all. If you're such an American, why can't you just give me your driver's license? Because my wallet got stolen. And even if I did have that, you can take a passport.
Yep.
Let me go ask my manager if she'll make an exception. Hi, what seems to be the problem here?
Oh,
your cashier
God.
won't let me use my passport as identification to buy beer. Yeah, you gotta have an American ID to buy alcohol in America.
It is a fucking American
really cool,
ID.
I've never seen a passport before. Where are you from?
Exactly.
Here!
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
One time I was in high school and this girl asked me what I was. I told her I'm Egyptian, my family's from Egypt. She said, no, tell me the truth, where are you really from? I told her I'm not lying, I'm from Egypt. She said, no, you don't understand, Egypt literally doesn't exist. And I was like, no, it actually does. I go there every summer to visit my family. She's like, no, you don't get it. Egypt literally doesn't exist. The US is the world. There's no other country. I said, so what are they teaching us in history then? She said, oh no, those are just stories. Egypt doesn't exist.
Oh,
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I actually made a video about this a good while back, but I'd say most of you haven't seen it, so I'll just say it again here, considering this is starting to catch on as a trend. So over the summer, I posted a photo of myself at the beach on my Instagram story, just, as you do. And this American replies to the Instagram story. And this is what they said. This is genuinely a word-for-word quote. This is gonna sound stupid, but I dead-ass didn't know you guys had beaches. So I'm sitting there reading this message thinking to myself, I live on an island.
Yeah, I'm a fucking island.
What do you think, surrounds it? But as silly as that message is, that's the message that started my series on TikTok on American people, which has ended up being by far my most successful series. So I have to be forever thankful for it.
We're like watching Ames.
Also, I hope you all have a great day.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Canadian here. Right after I moved to America, I went to the Social Security office so that I could apply for a Social Security number so that I could work in America. I went up to the little kiosk and I punched in that I was applying for my very first Social Security number. And the man who was working there said, "Excuse me, ma'am, you're going to want to punch in that you're applying for a replacement card, not a new number." And I said, "No, sir, I don't have a Social Security number. I am applying for the first time." And he said, "And you're an American?" And I said, "No, sir, I actually just moved here from Canada just a couple of weeks ago." And he said this. "Ma'am, I have to say, your English is amazing." Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Oh my God.
Okay, so I'm Canadian, but I went to elementary.
How come all the Canadians have stories about us?
During my 7th grade geography class, my teacher was doing a presentation on pollution. She showed a bar graph showing a bunch of different countries and how much they contributed to pollution. As you may expect, US and China was way
up
top.
there.
But there was a piece of the graph showing how little Canada contributed. Me being a Canadian, I had a moment of pride and said, "Woohoo, Canada." To which my teacher responded, "Yeah, but that's because there aren't any cars in Canada, sweetie." And I said, "No, there are cars. My dad has one. We moved here in one. They have streets and highways and everything." And she said, "Sweetie, those are sleds." My geography teacher.
Dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
When I was younger, I worked at a hotel as a maid, and I was one day going to clean the bathroom in my sexy maid outfit, and there was a man sitting on the ground drinking the water from the bidet. Oh, he was like a dog. He's lapping it up. And so I was like, "Sir, that is a bidet. You must not drink from that." He goes, "No, it's very refreshing. It's a fountain." I was like, "No, sir. That's a bidet. It goes up your ass. It goes right up your ass." He did not believe me. He said it tasted so good.
I'm not drinking from
I'm curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
Okay, so I'm from Indiana. I'm from the Midwest. Temporarily, though, I used to live in Los Angeles before moving out to the East Coast. So one day I was in LA and I was like, okay, like I want to change banks. I no longer wanted to be with the bank I was currently with. So I go in and I went to the teller and I was like, "Hey, I just want to close my account if that's okay." They're like, "Yeah, no problem." And I go, "Perfect." They're like, "Can we see your ID?" I said, "Yeah." Hand them my ID, and they're like, "I'm so sorry, like, do you have a United States ID? That's just what we're gonna need to go ahead and confirm." I said, "That is my Indiana ID. This is my driver's license. I'm from Indiana." And they said, "No, I'm so sorry, but this is not a United States ID. Do you have any other form of ID?" They're like, "This says Indiana." I go, "I know. Indiana is a state. I'm from Indiana." And they said, "No, I need to see a United States ID." And I was just like...
How did we not know that Indiana is one of our states?
I'm curious, what is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I'm Swiss and Luxembourgish, but I went to the States for university, more specifically Los Angeles. So I have so many of these because people are fucking stupid out there. At least every 2 weeks I'd get asked if I spoke Swedish because I was from Switzerland. Classic. But then every now and then I'd just be like, fuck it, I might try and say I'm from Luxembourg. Every time I said I'm from Luxembourg, it would be, so like... Where in the UK is that? Where? Oh, no, it's not in the UK. But, okay, where in Germany? Sorry, my bad. Not in Germany. Somewhere else. I don't know where Luxembourg is.
He's got him down with the voice,
It is its own fucking country.
That's how they fucking are.
I know it's small, but we're important too.
I don't know.
Fucking bitch.
What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you?
So I know I'm American, but I'm going to get it on this one.
Damn, all these Americans.
I was staying at a hotel on the Strip in Vegas, and I was in the little convenience store just trying to buy a Diet Coke, and the couple in front of me that were from Australia were trying to just buy a pack of cigarettes. And after about 5 attempts, I knew the lady behind the register was never going to understand them. So I offered to them, "Do you want me to translate for you?" And they were like, "We're speaking English." And I was like, "Yeah, I know that. You know that. She doesn't know that." So they were like, "Yeah, fine. And so I translated for them. And then after they got their cigarettes, they kind of laughed and were like, "Thanks." And so when I was ordering my Diet Coke, she was like, "That would have been so much easier if they spoke English." And I was like, "Yeah, they're from Australia. They were speaking English." And she goes, "They don't speak English there." And I was like, Don't ask. "What do you think they speak there?" And she goes, "Australia in ish ease." The fuck?
Australian NSSEs. What the fuck is that?
First day of college, psychology class. I meet this girl called Shannon. She asks me where I'm from. I say Switzerland. She says, Sweden.
No, not the same.
It's because you're blonde, right? Fuck it, I'm just going to play along. Yes, Shannon. Then you can see her trying to relate, but she was probably lying because she had no clue what she was talking about. So Shannon goes, "I love Europe. I was in Germany this summer, and it was so nice to see all the history." I'm like, let's call her out. "What history, Shannon?" I mean, and all the concentration
Look, color
camps
out.
and all where the Jews died. I'm like, Shannon, the camps are in Poland. No, but what I meant to say is that I went where Hitler was born. Shannon, Hitler's Austrian. She got so mad. She goes, stop, I'm gonna jump out the window, okay? Shannon, you live on the ground floor. Let me take you to the fucking 7th floor. Do a flip.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you? Here's one of mine.
Oh, shit.
How much time you got, motherfucker? I could do this shit all day. I'm going to Florida. Oh, really? Are you driving? Are you flying? I drove and it took me 17 hours. 17 hours? How many days is that? I want to visit Europe. Oh, really? What countries are you visiting? Oh, you know, the basics. No, I don't know. There's no tutorial to visiting countries. Do you mean Italy, France, Spain, Portugal? Stop it. Portugal's not in Europe. It is. However, let's pull up a map. That way we know what countries you would like to visit. Okay, now looking at this map, where would you go? I would go to the Netherlands because it's next to Amsterdam. It is the capital city of the Netherlands!
It's next to Amsterdam. I love it.
Because it's next to Amsterdam. It is the capital city of the Netherlands! We are looking at a map, god damn it!
What's a piece of information that you learned that feels illegal to know?
If you have like 6 months to spare and you email IKEA and be like, hey, I think I'm missing a piece of this table set, slowly, one by one, piece by piece, month by month, you get that table for free.
What's one really bad thing you did as a child that you kept secret for your entire life and didn't tell nobody?
I have too many of these, okay? And a lot of them involve my grandma's house. As you guys know, my mom used to work 2-3 jobs and she had to sometimes leave me over there. She hated it, I hated it, it was a whole thing. My grandma was very abusive verbally and physically. So one day I got sick of her shit. And she took like 8 medications. I'm gonna burn in hell for this. One day she was really mean to me, so I dumped out all of her medications onto the dining room table, shook them up, and then mixed them all together and started to pour them back into their various bottles, making sure that they didn't go into the bottles they were supposed to go. Thinking to myself, it don't matter which one she grabs, she grab it, oh well. Is she not supposed to take that one? Oh well, I don't care. Also thinking to myself, if she died, oh well. I was 5. Mom knows this story. The only reason she stopped is because my aunt caught me. It was like the time I tried to set the house on fire. Turning the oven on and shutting all the windows. Going outside and waiting. My uncle stopped that one.
Hey, if you've had pretty privilege like your whole life,
I'm pretty sure you can't.
Yes, girl, let's talk about
you can't do that last thing.
Okay, so let me get my credentials out of the way really quickly. A few years ago, I looked like this. Now I look like this, and that has given me the power to experience both the best and the worst that pretty privilege has to offer. Also, not to go super psychological on y'all, at 9 o'clock in the morning, look up the halo effect on Google and learn more about this. So now let's talk about what pretty privilege actually looks like. It's little subtle things that you wouldn't notice before. So for example, not being charged for that extra drink or dessert at a restaurant, having someone offer to put the air in your tires rather than see you struggle doing it. And you can tell me like, oh my God, Kelsey, like maybe people are just good or maybe they're just doing a good deed. And I'm with you, they're doing a good deed, but why didn't they do that good deed when I was 257 pounds, huh? Why did all of a sudden all these good deeds start happening to me?
It has nothing to do with you being pretty. It has everything to do with us wanting to fuck you.
When I look like this. Because I went from like one good deed happening to me to a year to 10 of them happening to me in a week. That's not a coincidence, I'm sorry.
What has someone said to you that will stick with you forever?
Just because you have lost me as a friend does not mean you have gained me as an enemy. I still want to see you eat, just not at my table.
Tell me the most unfortunate name you've ever run across.
I have been waiting for this one. So my last name is Hiscock. Like Hiscock, like that's my government name. And I thought that was interesting until I realized my aunt's name is Sharon. So for a while until she got married, she was legally Sharon Hiscock. And I just think about that quite frequently.
What's a piece of life advice someone has given you that has stuck with you?
Oh, dear Lord, Jesus.
All right, so when I was like 19, my mentor, Tyrone, told me, he wanted me to write down my ideal partner. We were talking about dating, and he said, I want you to write down the ideal woman for your life that you want, all the characteristics, all the qualities. Forget everybody you've ever dated, forget anybody you have in mind. Write your ideal down. So I did this, and what he said to me when I gave him the paper was he basically put a mirror in front of me and said, now go be that person. because if you met this woman right now, she would run from you. Fast forward 10 years, she ain't running.
She ain't running away. She's still
Go work on yourself.
Growing up, I was always told a tattoo should have meanings. So stitch this and show me your most meaningless tattoo.
I like breakfast.
It's considered
Obviously.
trashy if you're poor, but classy if you're...
Okay, this is really old, but kind of still relevant. But everything minority kids had to wear because they were poor. I'm talking Reebok, I'm talking Fila, I'm talking Champion. Shoelaces as belts. So imagine me and my mom surprised when we walked into an Urban Outfitters. What we were doing in Urban Outfitters, I will never fully know. We saw a Champion sweater for $60. And I will never forget that you could buy Champion for like $10 at Walmart.
Yeah, you could.
And I would get made fun of for that.
Yeah, you could.
I'm kind of curious. What is the dumbest thing an American has ever said to you? Here's one of mine. I remember...
How much time you got, motherfucker? I could do this shit all day. I'm going to Florida. Oh, really? Are you driving?
We saw this one already.
I
What's
drove
this
and
in
it took
here?
me 17 hours. 17 hours? How many days is that? I want to visit Europe. Oh, really? What countries are you visiting?
We saw this one.
Stop it. Portugal. That I would go to
Netherlands.
We are looking at a map. God damn it!
What's an acting performance that was so good you forgot it was acting?
I love super dramatic films. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What's the dumbest thing an American has said to you? Remember, I want to see yours down inside the comments. The dumbest thing an American has ever said to me was I walked into a 7-Eleven here in Thailand to a clearly aggravated American man who was obviously frustrated with the cashier, who then, I said, sir, is there something wrong? He then turned to me and said, can you believe that they don't speak any English here? You're in Thailand, sir. Most people don't, but I'll definitely send you to some place where they do. So I put him on the back of a motorbike taxi and told the taxi in Thai to take him to the bus station. Apparently he was extremely pissed when he got to the bus station. But hey, if you're gonna be dumb and visit a country and then just assume that they're gonna speak your language, you're the idiot, not the person behind the counter. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you get over and show TikTok News some love. Smash the like button if you liked it, the dislike button, but I won't believe you. Check out the other video over there. Tell the next one how they combustible. You guys be happy, healthy, safe. Love you to the moon and back. Peace.